Hey there guys, Bad Fat Panda here, and I have another commentary for you. This time it is a StarCraft 2 match that I played very recently. It was a couple, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes ago at tops, and on ladder. So it was a pretty fucking epic game, evidenced by the fact that I actually titled the replay "Epic Fucking Game." So this is actually me on ladder. It's a relatively high diamond ranked match. And it's me, it's a TBT, and we go about pretty standard openings. I don't know, by my consideration, what to be pretty standard openings, and it evolves into relatively non-standard play on one of our parts, and it's a really back and forth game, and I'm actually excited to see the replay of it because I don't know anything about his perspective of it. So in the beginning we're talking about a little bit. This is Lost Temple. This is actually what they turned it into. It's actually called Shattered Temple, if I am not wrong. And main thing they changed, actually, really wide natural with another attack path hidden by destructible rocks on both sides. Don't really dig this. Still the gold here. We can count ourselves lucky for small favors, but there is no island. Alas, Terran can no longer lift up off to the island. And Protoss and Zerg Warp Prism or Nidus Worm respectively up to it. So he is going about scouting me, and I am scouting over there. It seems, I don't know, I just always scout clockwise, usually on some maps. I know on Delta Quadrant I usually scout counterclockwise. I don't know why, it just happens. But Delta Quadrant was not taken off the map pool, but that made me sad. Regardless, I am getting a very tight wall off here. You see 13 refinery, 12 barracks. Everything is pretty damn standard there. And see, if you position it like this, you have the add-on on the outside, so there's really nothing taking away from your SCVs happily mining gas until they get slaughtered mid-game by random tank shells or whatnot. So he is doing pretty much the same thing as me. My supply depot is slightly late, but I try and I don't know. There are things that go about with my timing that I don't even know what exists. So I've been seeing on ladder a lot Iacoix build, and it's basically a 2-fact 2-port. He goes Hellion into Banshee, and I am slightly lagging here. I wonder what is causing that. I think it's gonna work itself out, so I will not be daunted by that. I think it's just because I started my computer up like literally from a break. I don't know. A couple minutes ago. I don't know why I turned it off after the game, but I don't know. I needed some time to think. But you see, I'm getting the factory. As soon as I get the factory down, as soon as I have enough gas, enough minerals, 75 minerals to get that second gas without either A, stopping production of my Marines, or B, stopping production of my SCVs, I put that down. That's really my timer. I don't necessarily dig the whole build order thing where you have everything set to a specific number at your supply. It's good for a relative check. And you see our timings are pretty much identical here. It's a pretty standard opening, although I'm getting this reactor and he is switching it out for the factory and early siege mode, I do believe, because that was like, oh, siege mode, hey, what's up? But before I go any further, I wanted to announce those of you that are watching this for the epic announcement part of this video. Midterms are over in advance of this, so midterms will be over on Friday. I'm casting this on a Sunday, and I am getting to the point where I can be ready to actually go about and be a member of society again without staying secluded in my room with studying. So in honor and respect to that, I will have Minecraft videos out. I will have some video up on this channel every single day in the month of March, and that is also to celebrate my birthday. So it is on the 20th of March. High five. As I don't know, I hope I can get something relatively decent in terms of just living another year and being 21, of course. So he has a Hellion there. I'm like, oh shit. So you see me immediately put down an engineering bay. Should go right there. To complete my wall off, you see these are absolutely not just randomly placed. They completely wall off the side from Hellion drops just in case it so happens, as they have been getting increasingly popular in TBT. You see he is using his supply depots out on the side. I think you see me do the exact same thing later because it's a pretty cool move. QXC does it in a lot of his games, and I really like it. It's something I picked up from his play. And see, 2 tank pushes. I have these reactor marines right on the reactor after 3 marines, and going with the Viking rally point to the tank. This is pretty much my standard opening for TBT. If I'm not doing anything really weird, or I don't detect anything really weird, do I have that engineering bay up? I do indeed. I don't know if I saw a second Hellion after that, but I got wind of something happening. You see me raising these supply depots. Again, this is not random placement. It is really important where you place your supply depots in, I don't know, out of, I guess, platinum, but he just got completely destroyed there. But I am in for a treat, as he indeed did research siege mode right from his first tank. It's something that I like to delay. You see I have it right now, 52 seconds out of 80 seconds, and I probably could have rushed in there and gotten that. Let's see. Yeah, there's my vision. For this attack, I probably could have rushed up there and got the siege tank, but it's something that I didn't necessarily want to risk all of my marines from that happening. And you see immediately I put this back down to a reactor and pop something on there. I don't know if it's a factory or usually another barracks for starboard. And I was like, oh, thought you were Ayako Kelling drop. Oh shit. And there's a drop in my base. Oh noes. So if we take a look at the income, see how many harvesters. I was probably leading before this, but I didn't actually lose that many. Maybe 3. It said 2 there, but I think maybe 3. And I didn't even lose my mule, so that is definitely, never be afraid to pull your SCVs, like, ever. And you see me, I'm resuming here, poking about with me mouse, and apparently there was something else there. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and check that out. Oh, wait, no drop ship? I have 2 tanks there, why worry about it? No! Red's on the map. Alright, fuck this, I'm going over here to see what's happening. Screw my camera vision. I try and get that Viking, that medvac with the Viking because he is using it to spot. Obviously the buildings don't provide that much vision. It's really the air units that you need, and when people say, oh, well, he's just going ahead and getting air control in a TBT match, that's pretty much what they mean. That's why I have this reactor starport that I actually built a tech lab on that and then canceled it and built a reactor because I'm bad. And yeah, so you see here the second barracks. I'm putting this on the barracks. Oftentimes what I want to do is I want to get concussive shells, combat shields, and stim the 3 lifeblood of the bio play for Terran. But usually I get combat shields first, because combat shield is very fast and it actually supplies you the ability to outlive tank shots. And I'm going to go to everyone vision again. He's putting down his orbital there. I don't even have, oh no, my orbital's morphing, so I guess we're pretty even on that front. I just got my SCVs mining on gas again, which is really, really not good. His drop did take that away from me. You see my mineral, I'm floating a pretty high amount of minerals right now. Even after I have this command center, I could have possibly double expanded, which was definitely close in my mind. I was thinking about it, but I do believe I eventually spam a bunch of barracks and get these turrets up here, because I don't want to rule out Banshee play. I did see the starport, but he didn't have an add-on, so I am not sure what's going on, and immediately he's putting down more barracks. He's getting a tech lab on that, probably to research these same things as me. And I am not utilizing this engineering bay exactly, but see I'm transferring SCVs now, immediately getting those double geysers. Again, gas is really the limiting factor in any TBT. Gas produces tanks, gas produces battle cruisers if you eventually get that far, and Vikings, you really need it. Air control is definitely, because of it extends the range of the siege tank. It's really, really dire that you maintain Viking control, and that's something that plays a very key part in this matchup. So again, we're pretty freaking even. It's almost like that drop never happened, and this whole business up here, this fail, never happened. He's getting a really good spread on his tanks here, and obviously creating Vikings. Does he have a reactor? No. You cannot afford a reactor off of one base. So immediately as you get the second one, go ahead and pop it on there, because in my opinion you need it. There's some bio play that just goes simply medvacs, and the opponent can really choose what to do. They may not think Vikings are worthwhile because of the sheer amount of Marines. I know Marine King Prime, in a lot of his games, he goes medvac Viking. Medvac Marine. And instead of going for the Vikings, the opponent simply goes for medvacs to support his own Marines and siege tanks. Here you go. There's a nuke in play. Holy shit. This guy, it must have been a new build that he was trying out, and I think later on I see these tech labs, and I'm like, why the fuck did he get tech labs? And I realized, like, oh, that's where the ghosts are coming from. It just, I don't know, it took me a second. So he's immediately securing another third command center, and I have none in sight, but I do believe I get it out sooner than later. And you see here, I'm actually researching Stim first. I didn't think there would probably be an engagement, and I do have the Viking count, so let's see. Vikings, we are 5-4. I mean, we're pretty freaking identical, aside from the fact that he has some Marauders, and that's pretty much it. Some Marauders, no Ghost yet, but he does have a nuke, and extra Hellion. But this is probably a bit me catching up. I did lose some tanks, I did lose some Marines. In that early fight, he only had like one tank and a couple Marines here that died. But you see here, I'm immediately getting quad reactors. And what did I do? What did I do? Come on, switch that out for a factory, buddy. You need 2 tanks. And I'm supply block like a freaking pro here. 94 supply. I think our army sizes are relatively... No, he does have the significant advantage. And I felt like he had an advantage for a fair amount of the game. So he loads it up. If you ever want to pop this up here, you can't build an orbital. Obviously, you can't build a planetary fortress because it can't move. But you can't build an orbital as they cannot carry SCVs. So here I'm just poking out with Vikings. I want to see if he got his third. Usually that's combined with me putting down a third of my own. Yep, there we go. Actually, no, that's not that late considering. So I land the Vikings here. I thought we were going to do like a little Benny Hill sketch where he pops up, I pop down. If you've ever seen that in TVTs, it's actually kind of funny to watch, humorous in the midst of gore-fest battle. And yeah, he definitely has the gas. The gas is really sort of what counts. Obviously, he has a fair amount of more Marines, but I have the Marine production. I mean, look at this. Look at that. 5 barracks, 4 reactors. MKP would be proud. And if you haven't seen his match versus the Zerg, I think it was July. I won't spoil it for you in the most recent GSL, but you should definitely check out that series. It made me sad. That's maybe a spoiler in and of itself, but it did make me sad just a bit. So here, I feel pretty confident. I'm going out here, getting my third up, and floating this over. I don't necessarily want to take the island yet, because it just seems that the gold, if he's not really that aggressive, and he pretty much isn't. I mean, and look at our harvester count is pretty even throughout the game. But you see, mules are pretty much a deciding factor. When I call down mine, obviously my minerals will go up. There's a lot of strategy to saving your mules until you get this base up, but I probably decided to put it down because I wasn't sure when I could actually secure this, and I'm doing pretty well on my resource count. Could be a little bit lower, but I'm also, let's see, getting close to a supply cap. I mean, this nuke here, I was looking everywhere for it. I'm sure if I go to my vision right now, you'll see me running around, and eventually I do spot it. I'm like, get the fuck out. But I think this actually goes off as well, which is part of a blunder on his part. Yeah, it doesn't actually do any damage, and the ghost is out of harm's way over there. But here in the meantime, I put this down. I haven't transferred any workers yet. That could be a bit smoother, and you see I'm in a lull of not producing SCVs. That was like massive blunder right there. I don't know, that must have been a misclick on my part, because I remember going back and seeing like, wow, I thought I moved those SCVs. Sad face. So I'm wondering, like, why didn't he take his fourth? And see, like, oh, he is pretty freaking sieged up, and you see he has really good tank spacing right here. You always want to leapfrog your tanks when you're actually engaging, but in the meantime, if you're in a defensive structure like this and he has a Viking flower going on, if you don't know what that is, you patrol around, and it actually condenses the Vikings to if you do it right, you can actually get slightly out of the range, and it screws up the targeting for the other Vikings. They are eliminating that in patch 1.3, and that is the upcoming patch. He's floating a fair amount of minerals right here. And he comes to engage me after I lost that battle handedly. I think it was down just about 40 supply. But you see this production queue up here. I mean, I have a fair amount of stuff that I can get pretty handily. And you see here, I do keep this on. I don't know why. I guess I was doing that for Marauders, and I just make another factory. What I usually like to do is just keep all reactors, because Marauders really serve very little purpose in TVTs besides. I can really think of only one instance is like you're getting contained. Marauders are really cost effective against contain if you're not obviously going to outnumber him in tanks anytime soon. So you just go Marauders and fucking hope to God that you can do some damage. And that's usually doom push anyway. So here you see he's double expanding. Oh no. No, single expanding. My bad. I keep thinking that he's taking his gold. I don't know why he didn't. It's really spread. They kept this aspect of Lost Temple that you can spread your contain out through here. Although these are inverted, that's something key to note. And there's only one watchtower in the middle, obviously, as we've had that before. But I can still see this being quite epic for macro games. I don't know. It just seems that the middle can't be necessarily divided enough anymore. It's rather open to flanks. And obviously these destructible rocks that you can actually access the island from ground. This isn't even an island anymore. I guess, oh no, there's just like, oh, that's pretty. They're pretty. But yeah, I can definitely know why you guys were complaining about me uploading stuff in low quality, lagging a bit, because it actually scared me. On Turtle Fortress, you really couldn't see, Twilight Fortress, sorry. I call it Turtle Fortress. If you don't play 2v2s, it's the map that was combined base. But they actually eliminated that out of the pool and put in place something else. Awkwardly, no 3v3 maps were added. He is almost maxed, and I am at 160 when I decide to push out. If we look at this, I'm starting 3 already, and he has 2-2 on the way. But I immediately try and go for this, and only have 3 tanks actually. I do have the double factories, but I didn't necessarily feel that I was secure enough at home in case he counterattacked. And base races in TVT, usually I need to get better at winning base races, because usually when it comes to a base race, I either am ahead and that is the only reason I win, or it's about even and I just miserably make a fool of myself. And here is a planetary fortress up here. I don't necessarily agree with the whole planetary fortress up on the island. I would have probably liked to see it there and there instead. But I am willing to go ahead and sack as many units as I can to take this out, because this is a huge economic gain for me, having secure 3 bases against his. And you see this here. This is going to cause some trouble. That lucky bastard right there. He was actually ghost dropping this entire game, and there is some epic. I won't divulge what happens, but there's some epicness afoot. And here, these were already sacked. I thought I could possibly get through these rocks and go take a shot at his production structures. Instead, I destroy every single one of his Vikings. And some people may watch that and say, well, why'd you do that? Why did you try and take out tanks? I have tanks. Tanks are pretty good. I even have upgraded tanks, I think. Armory. I know you're there somewhere. There we go. Oh no, I don't have upgraded tanks. Maybe not until later. If you ever are indecisive about which to get, armor or plus weapon, you always get plus weapon in TVT and TVZ, as they one-shot Zerglings, and the splash damage affects a wider variety of Zerglings. And same thing, they can one-shot Z Marines if you reach +1. So here, I missed some destruction, but he pretty much killed. I think he had like, I'm gonna go back quickly and just check out how many kills he had, because I couldn't find the nukes for the life of me. 27 kills, holy shit. So I couldn't find the nukes for the life of me, and I thought that because I had missile turrets here, I also had one here. I was protected, and I could see it readily. You see, I'm also slacking on the energy a little bit, but I do have that set up, and I should be producing SCVs. Yeah, there we go. Alas, and you see there, even taking out almost all of the workers that were at those 2 bases, he still is up about 9 workers. So we'll go back to the production tab, and he continues to get nukes, I do believe, because it's that ghost harass that was pretty epic. Like I was actually talking to him after the game a little bit, and he was a really nice guy, but it was pretty amusing what happened. So he has ghosts mixed in with his main army. I don't necessarily agree with this. I think the ghosts are better used situationally in TVT, other than and you see here I'm getting a couple free kills. I probably misclicked on his part, but this is, I don't necessarily agree with this placement, because he's sort of squished in. If I actually had the balls to take my tanks away from the main, I could have just set up a container around here, and it would be really hard for him to break. And he's wasting scans to get up here and shoot. but the factory is pretty beefy at 1500. Oh no, 1250. I thought it used to be 1500. That is my bad. But here I see I get a second reactor starport. The reason for that obviously is because I have the Viking control now. Yay! Air control is really big, and there aren't that many times during this match that I actually siege up and leapfrog forward, but I'm able to take out all of his Vikings, and with that, any medvacs that he may have. And that's huge right there, because he's still spending gas to try and come back, which is gas not spent on tanks. And you see here, I'm just charging in, and instead of trying to go for my base, which he really can't, I made this solid for that purpose. This is sort of just a suicide force. I'm willing to try and kill as much as I can, stimming up here, moving in, as I know I'm not going to get anything here. I'm just trying to do as much damage to his base as freaking possible. And here I see the Tech Lab starports, and like the Tech Lab barracks. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't remember the ghosts. Oh, those ghosts. I don't actually get this saturated. I should probably take this out. I do. Come on, buddies. You're even sieged. You want to take it out. Siege tanks do additional damage to armored, which destructible rocks are indeed. See, armored structure. So they take them out quite fast, especially when they're unsieged, because the DPS is quite insane if you're attacking a single target. Always remember that if you're going for tanks in like TVP early game, when they just have a couple stalkers out. While Marauders are more cost-effective, siege tanks can be used without siege mode to turn a force in your favor, or turn the tide of battle in your favor. See here, I'm just scouting around with the Vikings again. I see this command center, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I see the command center right there, which keys me into, oh, you're trying to expand again, I should probably stop that. And here I'm just pretty much macroing up. I want to get as high as I can. You see here, remember that early food advantage that he had? Almost 40 food advantage over me, and I have 30 easily in the production structures to get more. As you see, go back to everyone. It's pretty much what he has to work with. He's produced 2 more barracks, I guess, and is getting yet another barracks. And I think that this is the point. I completely agree with this decision. Although he did get 2 factories here, but I completely agree with the barracks decision. Usually in that point of the game, you just want to get units out fast, and what gets unit out fast? Barracks, obviously, over factories, which take siege tanks take a fair amount of time to build. So here you see, again, only pulling 3 tanks. I don't want to lose it at this point. I have this contained. I can always move the tanks up here. I can move the tanks over here to protect my production structures. I really prefer the mobile marines when I actually move out. In anything but a death push where I absolutely need to pull everything I have, like against Zerg, that's a good time when just pull everything. Pull SCVs, why not? And you see here I should start focusing these SCVs soon. But I am one to do this actually. You never want to take for granted him repairing. Him repairing takes away a fair amount of minerals. And here you see he's pushing with everything, but I have these 3 siege tanks. And they were attack commanded on the... that's unfortunate. It was quite saddening, actually. Damn. Lost everything there. That was really unfortunate. I should definitely have paid attention there. That they were attack mode on there, but again, he doesn't have the income to really do much to it. I pulled all those guys away from mining, and I actually cost him money. So you see there, he's finally putting stuff back. And I'm actually down to 24 harvesters, I think. Yeah, the ghosts that were up here are nuking again. Those fucking ghosts. And see here, I'm actually going to go back and check that out, because he was really, really well with the harass. Really quite good with the harass. Yeah, he dropped it in. He had that medvac around here pretty much the entire time. I should have used Vikings to scout a bit more, but I think soon enough you see me death pushing. I was talking about earlier, because my mineral income is pretty nil. I mean, he killed... Snipe really wrecks SCVs and probes. The gas cost of the Ghost in TVT makes them not desirable as a core staple unit, but you see here finally pulling out with the tanks, and if we look at the units, yeah, 12 tanks versus 6 tanks, have an advantage of Marines, and holy shit. Yeah, if you have the tank advantage, I just rushed in here. 3 Marines absolutely destroy. And there's the GG, and I had caps locks on because that was such an intense game. But I hope you liked it. This was, I don't know, it was a really fun game to play. I hope it was fun to watch. And that's pretty much it. So if you like this, feel free to subscribe, and remember, I will be having videos out every day in March. High five, right? So, I don't know. If you liked it, leave a comment, like it, and I don't know. Peace. See ya.